Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Paula and this is Fundiendo Neuronas TV. Today we will be talking about the lies your favorite YouTube hypergamy content creators are telling you. They are hiding the truth. Yes, I know and you know. And why? Because they don't know it themselves. This specific themes or topic is very sensitive to me because I feel that I don't feel. It's just like the way it is. People are just telling you everything they imagine. They are selling you smoke, things that are not truth. We all know that men, all men in the world, are attracted to beauty and femininity and youth in general. However, not all men, of course, are the same. And you have different types of high value men, or just like I like to call it, high earning men. Sorry. There are different types of high earning men, and not all of them like the same thing. First of all, I make my own category. One is the general wealthy ones, the ones that are born rich, wealthy. Their parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents were wealthy. That's one category. The second category is the entertainment / the athletes. That's another category. Those two types of men like different kind of women. The third one, I would say the entrepreneurial ones. The fourth one, the executives. They're sellers, actually they're employees, although they can be some CEOs or executives of many important multinationals, but if they don't own the company, they are employees. You have to remember that. Then you have the ones that I like to call the top-notch public figures. Those are the judges, the high judges, the high politicians, and that kind of the lobbyists, that kind of people, the police officers of some important institutions. And then you have the IT guys, the IT engineers, the important IT engineers, and the new rich one. That's a sixth category. Let me see, I have 6 people over here. Hey, Morena, buenas tardes, macho. If you would love to join, girls, guys, hey, Morena, mi madrina, trust fund babies. Okay, so, miren a Blood Moon ahí. Mujeres, entren. Bienvenidas y bienvenido, macho. Todos, si quieren participar, ya saben que son más que bienvenidos, right? Entonces, so, all those people, lo rico de cuna, the generational wealthy ones, the entrepreneurial ones, the executives ones, the top-notch public figures ones, or public figures, public functions, the IT guys, and the nouveau rich, they all like different kind of women. The generational wealthy ones, they are born rich. They also want rich women that are born rich, because many times their marriages is not only based on love, it's based on wealth and status. And of course, beauty and being fit and all that stuff. Those women belong to the same social class as them. They have the same references, the same experiences, the same gusto, goût, le même goût, the same taste. They've been, from American perspective, to Paris. They have a house in Italy and all that stuff. Those men, of course, marry women that belong to a lower social economical class, but it happens less. They date them a lot, but when it comes to marriage, they're a bit more selective. However, it's not impossible that they don't date them. Even here in Europe, we have royal people, and they stay in their lane. Not everybody is a Henry and how's her name? Meghan. Not everyone is a Meghan. You know, they say if they're a Duchess, Baron, they stay with each other. Although many of them don't have a lot of money as they used to, but they stay in their royal blood. I can tell you about it. Then you have the entertainers and the athletes. Those are, to me, they are very flexible as long as you are very pretty. If you're pretty, if you're famous, if you're a model, that kind of stuff, they just want you. That's different. And those guys are in a different pool, because they don't really come in contact with you. They can date the pizza girl. There is no problem with that, because what they really care is you being very pretty. You're being a model. You're being a TV personality. You're being a celebrity, because they can, they can show you off. You can be, how you call that, the trophy wife stuff. So they're not really looking for someone with a very high IQ or a master's or whatever. They are very flexible as long as you're pretty. That's your number one commodity. Then you have the entrepreneurial one. As all men, of course, they want pretty, fit women. But those guys are extremely competitive, and they want their wives to be competitive as well. Again, it's also a luxury item, so they can compete, they can show the world who their wives is. And those women are smart or very hardworking. And even though they could stay at home, they have to be the best mother and the best wives and all that stuff. They have to be fit. When they work out, they have to work out hard. They have to challenge themselves and other people. They seek inspiration from everyone. Those kind of people are very selective with their surroundings. And it's not true that they're going to be just with a very pretty wife and she will be sleeping the whole day. Many women, I feel, are just looking for the lifestyle, for the pretty, wealthy lifestyle, but not everything that comes with it. They want the rose, but not the las espinas. Can you translate that for me, please? The thorns? I don't know. So they want you to be competitive. So you also have to maybe have a business, or in your career, you have to be, if you're a lawyer, the best lawyer, the best judge. You have to be extremely hardworking and all that stuff. So it's not so easy as, I will be feminine, I will be cute, and that's it. I'm so feminine, look at me, look at me. No, mi amor, it's not like that. And then you have the executive from multinationals and the top judge, the top-notch public officers, let's call them like that. I have them in the same line. Why? Because they are the ones that, based on my experience, my external experience, are the ones that besides beauty and fit, they want some intellect as well. For example, here in Europe, it is no secret that the very high percentage of the escorts, I will call escorts because I don't want to be banned from YouTube, the love sellers are highly educated women, are university educated women or university students, psychology, law, communications, or just graduates. So those men, they just don't go to the love sellers. They are just around in the streets or in clubs and all that stuff. No, they are very exclusive for with the women from who they buy some love. So a lot of judges, politicians, and executives of important companies, okay, they go to those girls, but they also marry that kind of women as well. Of course, all men make more, they're more flexible on women when it comes to dating, when it comes to lowering from the social economical ladder. But still, those men are the ones that are looking more for brains, beauty and brains. And then we have the IT guys. The IT guys, in my experience, are the most flexible ones. Why? Those guys, yeah, they like pretty girls, but they like the human. Although sometimes we tend to think those IT people are crazy, they're not from this world, they live in a game or in a parallel world, they care about the humanity of women. So they like pretty women as well, who are feminine, but that are very different from them. They truly want to learn from women. And those guys are the ones that are that date the least sometimes. That are the most attractive sometimes, not all. Some of them are attractive. They're not the most popular, not even in school or college. Those were the nerds. And those are the ones making the big money. So, let me see. ¿Qué tengo por aquí? We'll break. Macho, I agree with you. High value person. Yeah, the definition depends on who you ask. Yes, I totally agree with you. Having values comes from within, but actually, I'm talking about high earning. I don't really like the term high value because value has nothing to do with money. However, in these YouTube streets, those content creators talk about high value. To me, it's high earning, man. So. Yeah, the Prince of Monaco, America's swimmer. But guys, that's the thing. You guys live in a celebrity world. That's so typical US. She's a top-notch. She was a top-notch swimmer. But here you have a lot of people with royal blood. It's not like in the US people see, oh my God, she's from a royal family. You have a lot of royal families here in Europe. Come on. A lot. But many of them do not have like the money that they had. French Revolution, okay, those people still exist, but they don't have the money, nor the power, nor the influence that they used to have. And still they stay with each other. Or when they date out, their stand, their, how you call that, stand, their position, because it's not a class position, it's a different kind of position that they have. Also class is so different too. It's a different dynamics. That person they date out or marry out must have some money or status and all that. It's not just like that. It's not just like that. Believe me. They stay in their lane. They're cool. They work with you sometimes, you know. They're cool. I went to college with those people. I had two of my professors, or three, were baroness. Eran varón y baronesa. So, and gente en la universidad the same, but still when they marry, it's different. I can tell you many stories about that. So yeah, many women on YouTube are disillusional for sure. And the thing of Harry and Meghan, is her name? It's the same thing. It's also a big, you know, what's the name? Exception. Exception exists always, but they do not confirm the rule. Love sellers. Yeah. I have an IT guy, very analytical. They are analytical. You know what I love about those people? The exact science people. It's like they're always saying, I don't know. If they don't know something, they say, I don't know. They're not like me or many people without a strong science background. Maybe it's this or maybe that. I think or I feel they should say, I don't know. I don't know. I love that. Yeah, Christina, high value should be differentiated from high earning. Totally. Macho, come on, you have to hop in. I need your man's perspective here. Christina, please. High values basically don't be an irresponsible adult. I think the bar has been lowered a lot because of males, not men, aren't holding their ends of the bargain. Not men. Males, not men. No entendí la última frase. Creo que sí. O sea, que los hombres no se están comportando como es. Okay. Yeah, many. But there's still a lot of good men out there. La vaina es que imagínate, todo el mundo quiere del 6 pies con el six-pack y quién no, dime. Hasta yo quiero un Eric Bana. Mi marido también está bueno, pero coño, Eric Bana, el actor está, Dios mío, que me rescate. Another thing is that, and I checked that on Yahoo Finance. I don't know how trustworthy Yahoo Finance is in America, in the United States of North America. And I checked that indeed only 9% of North American people make more than 6 figures, more than 100,000 K. 9%. Although 9% of the American population is huge, still it's only 9%. And of that 9%, not everybody is a man. Maybe not half of them are women, but let's say half of them are women. So only half of men are available for you. But many of those men are not even straight. So the percentage is even smaller. And not all those men are very attractive to you. Or are you going just to be with someone just for the money and not because you share some values, some principles, some ideas, ideologies, beliefs with that person? So from that 9% of people that in the United States makes more than $100,000, who, how many of those men is for you? How big is your pool? And also another thing, don't come to me with, yes, but in San Francisco, in the Silicon Valley, whatever, I'm only 26 and I make 6 figures. My friends make 20, 6 figures, 7 figures. Yeah, okay, that's there. Not in Wyoming. Where do you live? You have to be a bit conscious. Where do you live? Do you live in Washington? Do you live in Miami, New York? Come on. Where do you live? Okay, you live in San Francisco, you make 6 figures, but the cost of living there is also extremely high. So 100K in San Francisco is maybe, I don't know, maybe 75K, I don't know, in Texas? I don't know, maybe. So you have to be mindful of that as well. Another thing is, okay, dicen por aquí. You're still working. Oh, girl. Oh, sorry. Girl, our concentration nowadays. Whew. Women are playing musical chairs in today's time. I do not understand that expression, musical chairs. But I think they're dreaming. Is what you mean, right? Right location is a factor in the median incomes as well. Of course, you have to know who is in your pool. Who is in your pool? Do you live in somewhere in the Midwest? Where? Oklahoma, that's in the Midwest, right? Or you live in Mississippi, the South, I'm afraid of Mississippi. Or you live in Seattle. In Seattle, I guess there is a lot of ITers and that kind of stuff. So it depends on where you live. How much does he make, or does he make, because they're talking from women to men, does that person make, how much, and how much is the cost of living as well. So you have to be mindful of that. So of those 9% of men, you can only date maybe, 4% of those whole 4%. Where are they located? More people make in California 100K than in Oklahoma. So you have to be mindful. And I hate when content creators just like, they're enough, or just go to Europe. They love Black women there. Yes, men in Europe love Black women, thin Black women, tall Black women. Those white men here, yes, they love the Black women that Black men don't like. They're usually very thin. I guess maybe in an American size 2, 02, they're very thin. The model-looking African women, tall, thin, and they can be pretty or average, but they're extremely feminine as well. They're not overweight. People here do not have an overweight problem. I am size, I'm 14 now. Excuse me, I'm 14 now. I hate this pandemic. And I am always the biggest person in the room. People here are not big. Oh, of course, there are exceptions. I am one of those exceptions, and you have also others. But having a size 12 here, even 10, that's a big size here. I am the biggest size in the regular shops, and many times I do not find anything. I have the biggest size from European shops, and I don't always find clothing. That's the truth. So Black women, white men here, yes, they like a lot, but the thin one, the fit ones. And another thing, another lie that I hear many content hypergamy content creators say, yes, outside of the US, people earn much more. Hell the F No, it's not true. Here in Europe, of course, those high executives make also a lot of money, but you have to be mindful. In general, we earn less. We make less money than in the US. We make less money than in the US. That's one. And two, we pay way more taxes than in the US. Europeans in general have a very different lifestyle than in the US. Europeans don't compete that much. They are very mindful with their money. They know how to manage money. They don't really go in debt. That's more in the UK, but still. And they don't need those super huge mansions that you see, because I feel that many people in the US want to compete with celebrities. It's like they don't realize that those celebrities do all that stuff for status once, and that's PR, that's marketing. Look what I have, look what I bought. Maybe that those houses or those mansions are not even theirs, but a Bugatti, Ferrari, and all that stuff, that adds a dream for the followers, for the fans, so the fans can dream. They create an imaginary, and people buy into that. People here, regular people, don't have Birkin bags. Those bags belong for the exclusive elite / aristocracy. So people here are not trying to compete that way with anyone. They truly know how to live within their means, and that's truth. For example, when the 2008 crisis happened, the US, that was a catastrophe. It was horrendous. That impacted the world, but you know that the average Belgian person in their 50s has 50,000 euros in their bank. No, was it 50,000 or less? Or in general, something that they can use for 50,000 or 30. I will say 30,000. Maybe it was, I know it was more, but let's say 30,000 besides their house and all that stuff. So it's very different. They don't have $30,000 debts unless it's their mortgage. Everybody, Yeah, San Francisco is super expensive. I have to visit San Francisco once in my life. California is a whole lot more okay. Yes, exactly. Like Iman and David Bowie, that kind of things. You see that here a lot. And many of those girls are not liked by the white men here. Old and young. Generally older guys, and divorced older guys, but also young guys. And those girls are always the top model looking girls. And Black African men here, they don't like those kind of girls. They're like, no. They like more the more curvaceous white or mixed women. It's like the white men, that they kind of like the same physique everywhere. Oh, they like some curves, but not too much. Not too much. Like size 12 max, not more than that. And I grew up here. Of course, a Spaniard is different, and a Greek and a Portuguese is different than someone from Norwegian or Denmark. They're all different, but still the Mediterraneans, except Italians, they like more curvy women than the northern ones. And in Eastern Europe, all those women, they want to be, just long and without any curves. So, yes. Yeah, in 2008, there was a crisis that started in the US because people could not pay their mortgage. Dominican Renaissance, bienvenido. Feel. Yo misma me saqué the life. Size 12 is obese, not only in the US, blood moon, everywhere. Por eso, estoy obesa yo. I have to, European size 44 is, I think that's 14 in the US, I guess. Or maybe a 12, I don't even know. 44, 44, eso es, ni se encuentra. Macho says Spanish, Italian, Greek, and Russian women are curvier than the normal European. Not, yes, Spanish, Italian, and Greek. Greek for sure. La italiana, yeah, but son bastante flacas muchas veces. From the south, they're more curvy because in the north they're different. They're blonde and longer. Not all of them. Yeah, some of them are curvy, but hay muchas que son delgadita. Yeah, but they like more, being very thin in comparison to the Greeks one and Cyprus and all that stuff. And Turkish is Europe slash Asia, but Russians, it depends. It depends because Russia is very multi-ethnic, but still their beauty ideal is it's more like the American one when it comes to your body, not too much curves. And those women work out. Those women are ultra feminine, and they are the most hypergamous women of the world because, okay, they can like you, they marry up, but still they always will work and have their own money. Whatever, I know, for example, no, oh my gosh, mejor me callo porque puedo decir cosas. Most Dominicans are obese. Nowadays, yes, but not in the world is becoming more and more obese because we have more food everywhere now. I went to a dietist and all that stuff to teach me and control all that. And it has to do also with the fact that although we here do not have all those type of fast food that in the US you guys have, we're having more, but still less. We're having more options. Everywhere you can buy something. When I was a kid, I realized when she told me, it was like, yeah, that's true. We didn't have everywhere something to buy. It was always a specific location. And nowadays you can eat and drink everywhere. We didn't have Starbucks. Now we're having Dunkin' Donuts. We're having Dunkin' Donuts. You have now Kentucky Fried Chicken. So we have Burger King since 3 years, I guess 2 years, only one location in Belgium, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they wanted to open in a certain location here with a lot of that's an African neighborhood, a Congolese neighborhood, and the mayor said no, we don't want it here because we already have Burger King, and we don't want to have too much fast food restaurants here, otherwise that will cause a problem. So they're in another part of Brussels, maybe 2 or 3 Burger Kings, and that I know two Dunkin' Donuts, and that's all. Yes. Russian love yes, the whole Middle East loves telenovelas. I made a video about that in Spanish, macho, about telenovelas, why that keeps ourselves dumb, stupid, and poor, and why telenovelas are always published or in the screens of poor countries in Africa, Latin America, and Eastern Europe. Why not in West or North Europe? In countries where I think ve ese video para que tú veas. That's a way of manipulating your population to keep them dumb. Don't ask too much questions and dream. You don't have telenovelas in West Europe. España tries to make some, but still it's not the same. They have some series, and your TV business are becoming bigger and bigger, but it's not like in the US or Latin America with the telenovelas. West and Northern Europe doesn't show that, but they show that in Africa, Eastern Europe, and Latin America. Yeah, a lot of fast food. Yeah, food has become a drug. Yes, for sure. And I'm an emotional eater, so I eat always. There's always a reason for food. You're a sugar addict, Blood Moon. You cannot live without hot chocolate. Okay. All right. No, I have my sugar days. ¿Tú sabes cuándo? Blood Moon. Pero I'm more like an eater. I am an eater. I'm a Burgundier. You know, I like a lot of food and sauces and stuff. Soda. I can let go soda. I have my own soda stream. I make my own sparkling water. I love sparkling water. I can, you know, I can let go Coca-Cola and all that stuff. Sometimes I drink it, but my thing es comida. Comida, comida, comida. Eso es lo mío. Yes, diet soda, I don't drink that anymore. That's bad. Yeah, that's bad. Bienvenido, crazy boy. My mom has become addicted to watching Korean Chinese. Sí, soap operas. Yes, 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 yes. Los turcos también tienen. They have their own telenovelas. All those people, I don't even watch. Yo no tengo tiempo para eso. It's just like, I can't. No puedo. Mi hermana le encanta. Water fast, Fox Wonder. Pero uno pierde líquido con eso, macho. Don't drink diets. Sana said, don't. Okay. Coke Zero, yeah, me too, sometimes. Señora, nadie va a entrar. Qué vaina. So, what did I also want to say that women, you women, single women, you have, especially also a thing. When I read comments of women saying, like, where can I find a high earning man? Sometimes, if you don't know how to find that, that's because you're not a high earning woman either. I hate the word value. I can't use that. Because the thing is, if you're older than 25, you don't know that, is because you really have no idea, and you don't belong to that group. I don't belong to that group either, but still, I know. Yo estoy haciendo mi fila. And still, you have to date potentials, ladies. That's the thing that you have to date. Potential. You want to have a rich lifestyle in 10 years? Because that's the thing. Everybody wants a lifestyle. You're 25 years old and you want a guy that makes 100K, but you live in Wyoming? Okay, it takes time to earn 100K, unless you are an ITer in Silicon Valley, Seattle, and all the blah, blah, blah. Okay, but still, those are top-notch ITers. And many of them are not even from the US. They are from India. They're from Eastern Europe. They're European in general. People from India marry, men from India marry women from India in general. Arab people marry Arab women as well. So all those Middle Eastern you have in Silicon Valley, they marry their own kind. So be mindful of that as well. So marry the potentials. Who are the potentials? When you are in university, that IT student is a potential. The doctor, the medicine student, the nursery student is a potential. Doctors in general marry doctors or nurses or everyone or anyone who works in the medical field, because you date people that you encounter most often. There are exceptions. Okay, you can marry someone that you met on a trip in Brazil, but still, that's more an exception than a rule. So marry those potential. You see them every day. They see your looks, they see your fit, and they know your personality. Marry the potential. Marry the guys that do engineering studies. I have a video where I mentioned this. A friend of mine who's Northern European. She told me that during the Cold War, during the Soviet Union, many women went to university, and they studied like the hard sciences, like biology, chemistry, and all that stuff, for two reasons. One, to go out of the Soviet Union to the US, to West Europe, to have a scholarship, to make a PhD or to work there and stay out of the Soviet Union, and two, to find a good man. To find a good man that would eventually get a scholarship out of the Soviet Union. That's, es una mente criminal. Eso pensar con la cabeza, I remember when I was in university, a middle class Belgian girl that wanted, she really wanted to grow. She said, okay, I'm going to the library because that's there where you meet the good guys, not in the parties. That's also a thing. If you are in university, why don't you go to those kind of proms? I don't even know how to say that. All those in the US, you even have that more than here. All those student organizations, student/entrepreneurial whatever organizations, and that's where you find those guys, not in the girls' club. So university, library, and all those clubs. If you're a nursery student, go. College, university is the best place to meet people and to meet your potential husband or potential whatever if you're there. If you don't do it there, it will be maybe your colleague or the colleague of your colleague. It will not be in a bar. Come on, who are you meeting in a bar? In a club? In serio? For real? No. Okay, they also say, in airports. Okay, of course, in an airport, of course, in the first class private exclusive space. Yes, but those people are there for business, maybe sometimes for travel, so they don't really live there. So are you going to start a relationship just with someone that lives in Russia, but that you met at the airport in NYC? Come on, be a bit realistic. And again, to the point, like, yeah, outside of the US, men make a lot of money. Not like in the US. Not like in the US. Certainly not in the Dominican Republic or Brazil or Colombia or South Africa. Come on, 100K is a lot of money everywhere in the world, and for sure in the southern hemisphere of the world. Again, people in Northern Europe, Scandinavia make a lot of money, but they pay even more taxes. So if someone in Scandinavia, Norwegia, or Sweden makes 100K, believe me, he only stays with 50K. And from those 50K, the cost of life is there very expensive. In Spain, in the Mediterranean, they earn less, but the cost of life is also cheaper. It's more cost effective. And still, I mean, like, the majority of people don't make that amount of money. So, back to the potentials. Where can you meet them? According to me, in my experience, besides university, when you're not a college student anymore, like all of us, do you want someone who's generational, wealthy, rich, rico de cuna? That will be very hard because they really stay in their club. They always go to the country clubs. They go, I like opera, for example, to the ballet. You can meet that kind of people there. But still, they can sleep with you, but they will not always marry you. You have to be mindful of that. Their reputation, their family, your family is very important. If your brother was in prison, your father is a prohibited illicit products addict, that will be staying in his family. So that kind of people, they may love you, but they will not always. From all of them, those are the most difficult ones. So the executives and the top-notch public positions like judges and all of that, you will meet them where? Museums in English, art exhibitions, theater, ballet, or opera, or all of that. In the gym, if you're a sporty one, in the most expensive ones, in Brussels, Aspria, for example. Of course, you can meet some university professors in college, in conferences. If you're a doctor, in medicine conferences, in all that type of your branch professional conferences. If you are in the engineering branch, in a conference that has to do with that. If you're in the legal branch, there are every day, a lot of legal conferences about a new regulation, about a new law and all that stuff. Public affairs events here, but public affairs events, again, I have to make, I have to explain, I have to make a disclaimer. Why? Because you don't have that everywhere. You have them in Washington, you have them here in Brussels, and you have them in The Hague, in the Netherlands, a lot. But if you live, tell me a city, I don't know, maybe in Arizona, I don't think you have a lot of public affairs events with the lobbyists. I'm talking about that type of people. In networking events, all types of networking events, politics, business, and all that stuff. Some business clubs, of course, but very often or generally you have to be a member of that club. So someone has to talk for you. They are speaking for you. They are the ones that are letting you in. And if you mess up, there's a stain on them. So they're also very exclusive. They don't want you to accept everyone. The really rich one and also the top-notch executives, blah, blah, they go to the country clubs. Or did I say that? The country clubs, for example, they are tied to memberships. In the Dominican Republic, there is a country club, and that's only for the super, super rich people, not even athletes. Like our baseball players, they do not belong there. They have money, even more money than those people there, but they don't have the status. They don't have the offspring. So they're not members of those country clubs usually. They can be invited, but they're not members many times. You have in the DR El Club Naco and many clubs. So there is a reason why people make all those clubs. It's just to stay within them, to make business relationships, to know each other, and make some personal relationships as well, and to stay in their group, in their lane. You have, I already mentioned legal conferences, network lunches, network dinners. You can go to the embassy, but the embassy is more when you live outside of your country. And it depends. Not the Dominican embassy in Brussels, no. But if you are from the Netherlands, the Dutch embassy in Brussels, it depends on your job, because they're not inviting anyone. They invite you. It's just not that you go there. But still, study days, you have many study days. If you're an economist, you have a lot of study days. If you're, I don't know, whatever branch that you're in. And political conferences and events. So just not that in that kind of events, you meet people, high earning people, high value people, and you have to have something in your head to meet the kind of people that go to those conferences. Just not being pretty, and because the thing is about femininity, that is good. It's good. That's the first step. Being feminine, being pretty, and being fit. But that's not enough. That's not enough unless for the nouveau riche, for the new rich, for the ghetto rich, for the athletes sometimes, but not for the other ones. And the ITers, maybe you don't have to be an Einstein, a female Einstein, but still. So let me see. So, Ludman. Macho, with those ties. So, yo he hecho toda esa dieta. Ya yo no quiero saber eso. I'm working on my lifestyle now. Pico de gallo, guacamole. Okay. I love guacamole. I think meeting men in the same profession as you is easier, yes. If you're in college, they could also work since you're both in the same level. Totalmente. Totally. That's what I mean. You have to date potentials, because being 25 years old and expecting the person you are in a relationship to make 6 figures just from day one, it doesn't work like that. It takes time and a lot of work. Come on, I don't think that people in Mississippi are making the 100K when they're 2 years out of college. No, it takes time. Those guys are usually, it's from their 35 years old that they begin to, when you're a senior, whatever kind of senior, that they're beginning to make more money. And it takes time and dedication and a lot of work and support. So that's what I mean. They just want the lifestyle. They just want, the expensive sportive car and the designer bags, designer sunglasses, but they're not realistic. And what angers me a bit, what makes me mad, truly, is when those people, those content creators, are pandering. I I think the majority of you guys know I'm the type of person, when you see me, when I speak, people think I'm so arrogant and whatever, and I'm not nice. I'm a very nice person, actually, but I don't know how to pander. And I could never. I thank God I do. It's not in me how to pander. I'm the kind of people that yo caigo más mal que bien. Yo caigo más mal que bien. Yo caigo más mal que bien 7000 veces. A mí me odia la mayoría de la gente. Pero yo soy muy honesta. Trato de serlo. O te lo digo de manera bonita, pero te digo la verdad. I don't like to be liked by everyone, because you cannot be you. It's like that. So I cannot pander. I know those people are looking for their views, their likes, and their subscribers, and their money, and that's okay. I don't blame the game nor the game nor the player at all. They do them, get your money, of course, but at the same time, I think it's not very ethical. Okay, now I sound like an American with a high moral values, whatever. But still, I don't think it's very ethical to confuse people for your personal gain. And that angers me when they say, yeah, girl, you're size 14 and you weigh, I will not say how much I weigh, I will overreact. You weigh 400 pounds and you're just average looking, and you will marry a duchess of France, a douche from France. No. Exception exists, of course, but we are talking about the rules. And I hate those people that pander too much. I think that's not ethical. And yeah, I hate those pandering people. Hey, princess, how are you? Welcome, bienvenue. Get rich is the perfect way to describe it. These skanky, broken, educated girls think they will find a rich man very easy. Exactly. And my thing is also, why do many women per se want a doctor? Or I understand why, but I mean, especially in an American context, dating a plumber or a guy who has his own plumbing company or whatever company can be maybe more advantageous than an economist or a lawyer, because in the US, many people have very high student debt. And that guy who's a plumber, he might have a business debt, of course, because he needs inventory and he needs to pay personals and he needs to pay staff, but maybe, I don't know, maybe less than a doctor or an economist or a lawyer. So if you're a hairdresser, of course you can be with a judge or with a lobbyist. Why not? Of course you have the right, and it's possible. It's possible, because I know that kind of people. But at the same time, if you want just the money and you're not ready to challenge yourself intellectually, why not a guy who has some camion transport fleet? Why not? That's good enough. Those guys are very hard working and they earn a lot of money. I can tell you, those guys charge a lot of money. So yeah, I don't know. One, your look is not good enough, and then you have nothing in your head. When you're, I will fall back to the same example when those judges and high politicians and executives from multinationals date love sellers that are usually university educated here in Western Europe. There is a reason why they date those girls, because they can speak they can talk with those girls. They have a general knowledge. They know who Ho Chi Minh is. They know who Isabel Allende is. They know all that stuff. They can have and hold those conversations. It's just, I'm so pretty and I'm so feminine. No, at all. So there is a reason for it. And I think you're saying, yes, girl, you can date whoever you want as long as you're pretty. Nah, it doesn't work like that. You have to know which kind of man. Actually, those women have to do the same thing that men do. When they try to date us, they always want to know What does she like? In what kind of topics or books is she interested? What does she study? And when you study, like, if you're a literature girl, they will start with that. If you're like a feminist type of girl, they will say like, okay, you know what? I also read Simone de Beauvoir, blah, 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 blah. But do you know that Mary Wollstonecraft was the first feminist, actually? Because you started with Simone de Beauvoir, but no. And did you actually read that book? Because that book is so big and very complicated. You know, they do like psychology, market research with women. That's what those women need to do as well. Get rich. Yeah, so many people are just get rich in there. My dinner. Okay, you're talking about food. It's not realistic from the end when you are that young unless you are a trust fund baby or te sacaste la lotería. Exactly, it's not easy. So I feel they... Oh, miren aquí a the Renaissance. Renaissance, sorry si tú tienes tiempo ahí, yo hablo y hablo y hablo y hablo. So yeah, it's true, they're not realistic at all. You're not... The best, but not even in college you have the best potential, because many people with potential do not go to college or university. They you know, they become entrepreneurs or they do other stuff while they're having their potential. But that's a good place, or your colleagues and study days, conferences, all that stuff. You know that when you're dating a guy, maybe he's working at Dunkin' Donuts, but he's studying something aside. He's going to a community college or whatever. That's a potential. That's the type of guy that you want to date, because that's someone who's giving his 300%. It's just not okay, you know, just okay having his job just like that, or his $5 per hour job. He's doing something extra. That's a potential. Not the guy who says, yeah, one day I will have that kind of business. No, someone who's really you know, building it. I know that from a female point of view, it's kind of risky, because you all think like, I'm going to build something with him, and 20 years later, he will leave me for a 20-year younger woman than me. I know, but still, you need to have your money as well. En caso de, you never know. Dime, Dominican Renaissance. ¿Qué lo que?
Hey, I got a funny joke.
So,
Would Trujillo be considered a high-value male?
no, vamos a hablar de Trujillo, ni de política, ni nada de eso, por favor, please, no. Trujillo era un azaroso, que está bien, que está muerto. I know.
But he had a lot of money. He had...
About law and order, okay. But
he had the looks.
Trujillo era un azaroso, déjate eso. Habla de otra vaina, no Trujillo, por favor. Este maldito. Que le quitó tierra a mi familia. Ambas.
Yeah, everyone who doesn't like him has like personal problems with him.
My father, he joined the army to not be killed. Okay, I was like, no vamos a hablar de Lazaroso Trujillo. There was law and order, that's true, but a lot of people went through a lot of things during Trujillo and Varela. Así que imagínate.
I didn't.
You didn't, but my family did, and it's good that you didn't. Okay? Yeah. He has to do it for the money and subscribers. Those people don't even have that lifestyle and are trying to sell it yet. Pero no te vayas, Dominican Renaissance. Sino que no me defienda Trujillo, por favor. No, de esa manera ahí no, porque okay, hay cosas buenas que hizo, eso sí, pero yo no puedo alabar a una gente que quería matar.
No, I was just joking.
My father was old enough to be my grandfather, that's why.
I was just joking. I know a lot of people have problems with him.
Yeah. Bueno, en fin. But, es un tema que también lo vamos a tratar en otro momento, eso de Trujillo, porque también they'll be romanticizing a lot of things pero no vamos a entrar en eso de raza y vaina de nosotros y nuestros vecinos, porque también han exagerado bastantes cosas, sí. No, pero no vamos a hablar de eso. Yes, for all subscribers, I second you totally. And yes, they don't even exactly. Pero ya yo leí eso. They don't have that lifestyle. They don't even know. They're not even married with high earning people, and they're
What are we talking about?
no, no, no. We're talking about the lies that that your most favorite hypergamy content creators are telling you slash women are telling women in
Mm.
order to get or to marry a high earning value man. And I am exposing them. That's how, Dios mío. Los cepillé en mis uñas, que no me dio tiempo. They're not, I'm exposing them. I'm telling the lies. I'm telling you the lies these people are telling you, and they're trying to manipulate you just for their own gain.
Mm.
Yes, they're not having that lifestyle. They're not married with those people. And they say that it's just very easy to just being pretty and feminine. And some say that you have to be fit, of course, but come on, that's not enough. That's not enough. You have to be realistic. More than come on. You have to
Mm.
marry with potentials. And, yeah. Yeah, plumbers make a lot of money. A lot of money. I'm going to tell a personal story though. Although my partners hate that because it says, you're exposing your personal life there, you're crazy people. Before I knew and the blood showed me that there were crazy people here, because he's like, when you say things, you should say them. But some people are making links. It's like, okay, she's a woman, Dominican, she lives in Brussels. They're just trying to identify you. She's married, not married. She has kids. She went to that college. Blah blah blah, and they're trying to reach you. You have crazy people online, but still, I'm going to say it.
Mm.
In December, we had a problem with the shower. There was something that you had to replace to have warm water. So we called like we have this problem. Maybe the heat has a problem. He said like, no, it's not a heat. It's this and this and this. It's a filter of this, and you live in Brussels, and blah 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 blah. Okay, he came to replace that. He was not even here 15 minutes. You know how much the bill was? ¿Cuánto tú crees que fue? Eso me dolió en el alma. 15 minutes here. How much money do you think that he charged us just for replacing a filter? How much? Dime, Dominican Renaissance. Come on.
Like what kind of filter are we talking?
It's just a filter para el agua for the hot water. Donde tú abres.
Because
Okay.
over here we have over here we use like a filter to filter out like what's it called?
En fin, un filtro ahí en la vaina para el agua caliente, no sé. 200 euros.
Oh, 200?
200 euros. Ese. El año pasado tuvimos un leak con una vaina, eso, bueno, también eso fue de noche, después de las 12 de la noche, no, that stuff. Eso fue como 1.200 euros. Una vaina en la cocina, porque yo no sé por qué siempre todo al mismo tiempo, bueno, no fue al mismo tiempo, pero en fin, eso fue como 200 y pico también. That's crazy. Those men, they make a lot of money. And I'm only talking about, no, el otro fue un chauffagiste. Eso es otra cosa, eso es para la calefacción. Y los plomeros, no, o sea, es bien, pero está bien, porque ese trabajo no lo voy a hacer yo y tampoco lo quiero hacer yo. So, lo pago con amor, pero ni siquiera 15 minutos, mano. But the same thing is hand work in Europe is paid well. I don't know, not in the Dominican Republic, but here in Europe, especially in Germany and Switzerland, hand jobs are paid very well because it's a different system here. Here, university degrees give you more status than money. Many people without university degrees earn much more than people with a university without a university degree make more money than people with university degrees because hand jobs are evaluated here. So yeah.
Hmm.
Strippers and their lifestyle messed up regular women's realities of scoring a high earning man while have no value themselves. Yeah, but I think that's more a US thing that maybe a social media thing, but I know that it's having also an impact on our Dominican society back home. But I don't really see that here a lot. Although Cardi B and all that new generation has some impact, but I feel that here in Europe, people know, or at least white and other and Middle Eastern Arabs, that kind of people, know that that is pure entertainment. They do not leave that out. That's more an American thing, Latin American thing as well, African thing, but not really white Western European thing. That's just entertainment. They're not really interested in that. They can follow some fashion, some trends, but that's just for the period of time, not really their lifestyle. They're more critical here when it comes to that. People here do not really try to embody celebrities nor copy 100% their lifestyle. They can be and feel inspired. They're not trying to compete with that. No, no, not really. Um, that's more some types of minority people because Middle Eastern they're very conservative and they're not just trying anything. Yes, yeah, but I think yes. I do. I do, for example, I don't have a problem when my niece, she's 17, she needs some longer nails because she knows that's a trend and that's entertainment, and she did that for her birthday, but she's not leaving that out. And she's not having those tattoos or those wigs and that makeup type and speaking the way they speak, using the words they use now. Not really. So people here are more conscious about that. But I do know that young women in the US, sometimes, at least on social media, they think that those celebrities are role models. To me, your role models are people next to you. Your mother, your father, your aunt, your teacher is a role model. The pharmacist, whoever, people that give a good example are the role models, not people from TV. So here you don't really have that conversation that the media or that famous people should be a role model. No, you can see, you guys, you remember Stromae? I'll, I don't,
The artist?
yes,
Yeah, I used to hear one of his songs.
Alors on danse. He's here from Brussels, and I'm not lying. He's here from Brussels, not far from where I live. And I've seen him at least three times in a bar near my house, just with his friends. Just
Well, I saw Cardi B one time when I was in New York.
yeah, but I mean, like no one is.
So how about that? No,
No,
I'm just kidding.
no. What I mean, no. What I mean is, they're just in a cafe, drinking, having a drink. People here are not crazy about celebrities. The story is different in Spain, okay? Oh my God, no, eso no tiene madre. That's worse than Hollywood, I guess. But people here, there's just like I saw Coolio in my first job, and some people were like, "Oh my gosh, Coolio," at 90s, begin 2000s. But people here, with the famous people here, they have that's a different kind of culture. The same with the athletes, it's different. So people know their place here. I would say that. Oh, Eddie's here. Hey Eddie, how are you? Welcome.
Hey, welcome. So I kind of wanted to, to talk about Macho's comment that he had about like the strippers and how they messed up
Mhm.
women's reality. Like it's just so funny how like when we have a few women who because let's be honest, like in women culture in America, it's still looked down upon at being a stripper, right?
Mhm.
Um, so so the fact that we take and this is why I kind of think that American culture has like fucked up like sorry curse sorry, messed up women's minds and has been so hard on them about things and actually hardened them to be actually like way independent, which is what men did not want. Is because we took that whole like a few women that looked up to be strippers or looked at strippers for attention and like try to put that on the society of women. One, we also did forget about the women who were strippers, right? And who used stripping to pay for school, use stripping to pay for their kids, and ended up. I know a lot of women who are strippers who are now business owners and very successful online. And I even did a video on some of the bartenders, the bartenders who actually like created a whole system and systems for women and going forward who work at these bars to understand that this is not supposed to be a permanent job. This is just to help you grow for yourself and have a business for yourself in the future. Look at the stories of the women who were strippers who became lawyers, who became judges, who became who probably be in Congress one day. So it's just like we take one little snippet of like what happens and we turn it into like this big thing. Now, like for the hypergamy part, like I do agree with you. There's a lot of content creators who do lie to women and try to tell them like, listen, this is what you because we all know that everybody's not going to get a rich man, right? We know that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the reality is like, so like they're also telling these women that they need to better themselves in order to be better people. So like they're telling them to hit the gym, they're telling them to do all these other things, which is the same things they see on TV, which is a fallacy, which kind of helps them, better themselves. And they end up going into, getting into better situations just because of that false narrative that was put out. So it's just like, are we really mad that we're selling them, that these people are being sold a dream? And do we really think that this has a huge effect on women's mindset? Because, like, let's talk for a perfect example, my channel, right? We talk about hypergamy, but I don't go too far in saying like, oh, a man should be buying you a Benz and a Birkin and all this other stuff. I just talk about things like, and a lot of men get upset for what I teach, but then they end up coming on my channel and listening, and I'm just only talking about the things that men should already be doing for you, which is providing, right? So it's just like when we say certain things and we put women in categories, we have to understand that YouTube is just one place, and YouTube and women being strippers and the fantasy that they're given there, it's not reality. And it's not actually hurting the mindset of women, because if year after year and generation after generation, their wealth is growing, their independence is growing, and their education is growing. So it's just like, where do we see the problem here?
Okay. Macho, do you want to answer or something? Or maybe, do you want to answer Jamaican Renaissance? Or
I don't see a problem with, like educating people, to be better people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the world would be a better, well, I'm going to speak from a guy's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I think the world would be a better place if like guys knew how to like treat a woman. I just think like, a lot of people just lack like relationship, like skills. I don't know what you want to call it. So, I don't see a problem with, people helping other people like, better themselves.
All right. Abby, can I? Sorry, I don't want to overtalk you. Dominican Renaissance. There's a thing. Strippers are not per se bad persons. Of course not. Nor brothel girls or love sellers or whatever. Of course not. It doesn't. Women that are doctors or lawyers or politicians or engineers are not good persons because they have a degree. But there's one big difference. A woman's reputation is very, very difficult to change. It's different with men. But in today's society, a woman's reputation, that's her branding. And when that, is being in the ground, no one can pick that up. You can do everything you want to, but still, that stain is there. And the majority of men don't want to deal with that. My wife was a love seller. My wife was a stripper. My wife was this. And that. He has to be a very liberal thinking man, not a conservative man like the majority of men are in the world. Like everybody knew she was a stripper. No, no one knew. Okay, they can live with that. But the shame is huge because everyone will say, "Okay, your wife was a stripper. What are you talking with that?" I learned from my father when I was he always said like, "You're not serious. You you pretend to be a serious woman." Mi papá me decía, "Tú no eres seria, tú te la das en seria." And he also said, I don't know how to translate that, que la mujer del cesta no solamente tiene que ser seria, sino parecerla. A woman or whatever in society, you need not only to be a serious person or not, you don't have to be the person that you're telling that you are, but you have to sing or you have to look like it, being perceived as something. If you want to sell the fact that you're very saint, that you're a saint, that you don't do anything, that you're a virgin, all that stuff, you have to pretend that you are that. You have to have that perspective. People need to have that perspective of you. Not just you
Yeah.
tell. So helping those women to build businesses and all that stuff, that's good and that's okay. And they have to be fit and everything, but she can help them by being educated. Some people have their reasons for why they are what they are. I'm not judging them at all. At all, because everybody has a story that's different. I will never judge someone who did whatever, for food,
Yeah.
to help their family and all that stuff. But the reputation of a woman is something in our society that's very fragile. You don't need to do much in order for your reputation to be shattered as a woman. And once it's shattered, my gosh, not everybody wants to be near with you, especially men. They can sleep with you, but they will not live with you. And that's very that saying is too it's a bit. So bettering themselves is good, but you don't true yeah.
Yeah, but but who cares about what men think? Like the average stripper. Let me tell you something. Let me finish.
Yeah,
When it comes down to when you have that, and I'm gonna read Blue Moon's comments that these women had bad upbringings and low self esteem to do that in the first place. So the average stripper in New York City, the average stripper makes before the pandemic made $2,000 a night. $2,000. So
but
is
they
it
spend just like that. You
what?
can make that dollar now, but in 20 years, you don't. That dollar is
But
not.
everybody is not planning on being a stripper for forever. At the end of the day, this whole caravan of strippers and like people, women being OnlyFans is a reaction to men, like to men really not
Mhm.
wanting to provide for women or wanting to be men or to have high standards or to wanting to take care of men in general or like build wealth for women, which is that how it used to be for years ago. So where are the men out here? If men care so much about women not stripping, where are the men that are going to? I said New York City specifically, but where are the men who are going to pay women hire them at their jobs and pay them $2,000 a day with the education? Where are the men? Since they care about these women's reputation so much, it's not happening. So for us to sit up here and shame a woman for having the idea of like for making $2,000 a night, are we shaming her because she's working at the strip club, or are we shaming her for working at for what she does with the money and trying to better herself and not make that a permanent situation?
No. I'm not shaming.
Not you, not you. I'm just on the topic.
Or maybe the thing is like Morena. This is a copy and paste. I don't judge. Sometimes circumstances lead them there. Exactly. I don't judge them. It's their life and their body and their reputation, not mine. That's the second point. However, I think that um, many of those girls, I guess, have an idea. They think they can become the next Cardi B. That's why I think they.
I don't think that. I don't think that.
No, wait,
I
hold
don't.
on, hold on, hold on.
Maybe they think
I don't
yeah,
think
I
that.
can find an athlete, a rapper, whoever, and lift me up
Because
in their
strippers
life.
even hate Cardi B, so
Maybe.
I don't
No,
think so.
no.
Maybe
Here's the thing.
Cardi B or who's that girl that with the Kardashian, black whatever, China, that she was a stripper, you know, the
No, no, that's not.
black Diablo, Black China, esta, no era Black China.
Nobody thinks about those. See, that's what we
No,
see things on TV.
and two, you said that you know men don't want to provide for
They
women. That's
don't.
why you have to strip. Sorry, in my opinion, that's a cheap excuse. So because you're not providing to me, I'm going to strip.
That's not what I said. I'm saying if men are not providing, men cannot control what women are doing. Period.
It's true, it's true. But you also said
Listen,
that
I know how these.
you
I know how
you
they think.
care. If you're a woman and you want to be with a man, you want to marry a man and have a family with a man, you have to care
Yeah,
about.
but there's a lag of men marrying women. Men are not marrying women anymore in America, so they can't tell women what to do and not marry them. Sorry, that's not how that works.
But I read something, a comment that a man led somewhere here in the YouTube sphere. Women nowadays want to be married but not be wives, and they want to be mothers but not be. They want to have children and not be mothers. To me, that was wow, very shocking. Okay, that's another conversation. But at the same time, it's like maybe that's true because being a wife and living with someone, it's you know, being married is not actually that hard.
And
I'm not
and,
talking
and
about
how about we
being a
also
wife, but living with someone.
how
That's
about we also talk about the women who were forced to do stripping because guess what? Their baby fathers left them without taking care of the children. We
no.
don't talk about things like that.
I'm not judging them. I'm not judging. No, I'm not judging none of them
So
because
that's a man. That's a
some
man
people, their
pushing.
mothers have cancer. Their parents have cancer, or they're extremely
That's a man
poor.
pushing. That's a man pushing women into those circumstances
No,
of survival. Yes.
no,
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't think so. That's an election. I don't judge them whether they do it because they want to rap or whether they do it because their family is sick and they want to provide for their children.
Nobody starts
I
stripping
don't.
because they want to rap.
Hold on, hold on. I don't know how like I don't know why people strip like in Europe, but over here it's a like a different mentality. So a lot of women, well, like girls around my age, sometimes they'll go into stripping, literally just to like help them through college, or to like pay
Exactly.
some. Like it's not like this crazy. It's not like that. Like they have to. No, it's like I would say most of them they do it because it's like easy money, and it's like and it's quick, you know, and because it helps pay certain things, you know. But I don't think that it's because I don't know, at some point in time it was like that, but now it's way different.
It's
It's not.
survival.
But she's an atheist like me, so I thought you were an atheist, Bloodman. ¿Cómo que tú eres yo?
And I'm not trying to blame it all on men, but like we do have to understand that sometimes men push these women into these circumstances. And like we can't say, oh, women shouldn't want to strip because of her reputation of man. Well, if man was to do better so that she can actually want to compete for his approval, she wouldn't have to do those things.
I think it is with the guy, because like let's say if there's this girl that I like, right? And you know, we're in the same class or whatever. Well, not let's not say same class. We go to the same university, and you know, she's having trouble paying her like loans or whatever, and I decide to date her, and I graduate, I get my degree, start making money, and then like eventually we move in together, and then get married, blah blah blah, and then I basically pay for that. If I pay that off, that thought is never gonna cross her mind. If I'm able to support her, and I'm willing to support her, that thought would never cross her mind of going into like or even working, period.
But that's a crazy thing. Like, I just don't understand. Women, we have fought so much to be able to work and earn the same amount of money. And okay, that's your own decision, of course. If you don't want to, if you want to be a stay-at-home mother, it's your right. But you have to know that costs a lot of money as well. And nowadays, in the majority of countries, the majority of people, like one wage is not enough many times. Otherwise, ask single mothers why while they're struggling all over the world. Two wages makes it easier. So, but that's another conversation as well. But the thing is, like, I'm not shaming again strippers or whoever does anything with their body. Every situation is different. Is it to buy a Birkin bag or just because you need to feed your children? To me, it's good. That's good. I'm not judging them at all. However, I think that if you want to have a family, you have to be, as a woman, careful with what you do. You just cannot live just like that. Because at the end of the day, men do care, unless they have a very free ideology. But the majority of men in the world are conservatives, and they care about that. They care about the woman's reputation. It is what it is. That's the
Yeah,
case.
but the woman could just move to a different state and don't tell a man that she was a stripper. I mean, like, does a man hold on? Does a man come to a woman on dates and say, "Hey, listen, I used to work at McDonald's. I used to work here. I used to work here. I used to work there." No, they don't do it. So here you're lowering the woman's expectations for man, but then men are supposed to have these high expectations. No, she doesn't have to tell him everything that she's done in her past.
But nowadays, with social media,
no, you're not allowed to have cameras
when,
in strip clubs.
When you're getting to know someone, you will slip out of your mouth. Maybe I don't know. Maybe. So, feminism is a double-edged sword. Hence, the issue.
I mean, feminism is the source of all this we're talking about. It's
but
like,
if you look at listen, if you go to a strip club right now and you interview strippers and you ask them if they want to be strippers and why they were strippers, I bet you they will tell you no, and they would rather be working other jobs. But unfortunately, society doesn't put it that way, and guess what? They have to survive. So would you have all these women be homeless and like I said before, there's not a caravan of an amazing elite men who are out here trying to provide for women. So at the end of the day, women are going to have to survive.
But that's the topic of this.
You said a caravan.
Yeah, there's not a lot of calls like that. Most of the men are delusional. People tell those women they can have an elite man just like that, just by being pretty, or they're delusional as well. They have no idea of how the world is. Where are they going to meet those guys?
Why are you laughing at Dominican Renaissance?
That was funny. That was funny.
But it's reality. Like, where are these elite men that are out here trying to save these women and trying to do better? Where are they at?
So damn true, my corporate executive board, higher management, the ladies, damn, those are alpha.
Once again, it's always women. Yeah, guess what?
They have the same personality.
Yeah, but then if women can't stand each other in corporate circles, why are they starting to dominate the industry? Why are they starting to take over these corporate spaces in America?
Because of their personality, it has nothing to do.
But if they don't like each other, they shouldn't be that shouldn't be a thing, right?
They are as competitive as men. That's when they are saying, "Oh, women are more competitive."
It's always a problem. Now, y'all mad at them because being in strippers. Y'all mad at them for being in corporate spaces. No. Y'all mad at them for being in normal jobs.
I'm not mad at them.
It just never. The goalpost always changes when it comes down to women.
No, we're not hating on them. We're just saying that. Come on, many women should hate each other.
So the goal is than
another. Come on, you see that with some teenagers.
Here's the message. So don't be a stripper. Don't be in corporate spaces. And
no,
I'm going to take care of you if you don't got a job.
You're manipulating the conversation.
You can't be a stay-at-home.
I'm not saying you cannot be a stripper. Do you? You own your body. You have that freedom and that right. So you do you. I'm just saying, if you care about having a family one day, I would be careful. And if you are with a man that doesn't care about your past, that man is usually a man that's very liberal, and the majority of men of the world are not very liberal when it comes to the reputation of the mother of their children. They
But
can sleep with you, have a relationship with you, but the mother of their children, that's something else. And you being from a Caribbean country, you must know that. Maybe the fact that you're gay is different. But
no, it's
heterosexual
not.
men with women, the story is different. The mother of their children, that's a different kind of woman.
No, and hold on. Blue Moon said, I think women judge each other, judge women more than men do, and that's the problem. Maybe men should start judging men the way women judge men, because women are starting to be more powerful than men in this country. Maybe men should take a book out of women's books and start holding men accountable together and start to compete with each other, and then maybe they will actually we will get somewhere in society. Ding ding ding. I'm glad that you said that. Because it just proves my point that at the end of the day, the majority of these issues and what's going on, and now that women are like now pressured to be in positions because there's a lag of men that are trying to do better. This is what happens. Women are now in survival mode.
And that's why they're stripping.
What? Say it again.
And that's why they're stripping, because
yes, that's why they're strippers, because
that's one
they're not
reason.
providing.
Okay.
But I'll have to make a phone call. I love being on your
Okay.
show.
Thank you for joining.
I just spice it up.
Eddie, okay. Thank you very much, Eddie.
Anytime. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. Bye. Okay, Macho Man, ¿por qué tú no vienes? You should, man. So, ¿dónde nos quedamos? Now, your Christian morals and values are still part of me, of course. You're a cultural Christian, just like me. Yes, exactly.
I mean, everyone in the West is.
Yeah. Yes. Except if you live in Suriname, or in some Caribbean countries, you have an important Indian descendant category, population, and they're Hinduistic. So, but in general, of course.
Well, Indians aren't Western.
No. Indian from India, from India. Those people. We have many of them in Jamaica and in Suriname. Okay, they've been there for 100 years or more. So there is still a specific and a different ethnicity, and they're Hindus. They're still Hindus, or adapted Hindus and all that. But yes, the majority of the Western countries, of course, are cultural Christians. It's what it is. Paula is like Eddie. It's full of BS. I'm full of BS. Thank you, crazy boy. Okay. Thank you that I am full of BS. Okay. Si eso es lo que tú piensas, gracias. Both men and women have secrets they never tell their spouse, of course. Es cierto. But igual, many things you were just say like that. Today with social media, the world is becoming smaller and smaller. So, yeah. Pero coja suave. Really? Was I as passionate or something? No, ¿cómo que lo coja suave? I don't know, I'm just, así que yo hablo. O sea, yo soy así, yo no estoy ni peleando ni nada, yo hablo así. Not you, Paula, okay, no. Actually, that's the way I speak. When I believe in something, I am very, o sea, yo soy así muy apasionada con mis cosas, con lo que yo creo, sí. Si no, no. Okay. It says you were full of BS. Okay. Defend yourself, Eddie. Defend yourself. Okay, ¿dónde nos quedamos? Yes, women judge women. Yes, more than men do. It's true. Totally. Totalmente. I agree totally with that. It's true. Actually, we don't even need men to make our life a bit hard. When I was a child and a teenager, I thought that men, the feminist thing, played kind of tactics against us to put the women against each other, but actually they don't need to do anything. There is drama just from us. Yes. Morena says she thinks that is what Fundiana is saying, as young girls look up to these celebrities. Yes, they look too much up to celebrities. That's something I understand, I can relate, because we all looked up to celebrities, but at the same time, we truly need to know the difference between the celebrities and regular people. They're just doing their job, just as a doctor is doing its job, a plumber is doing its job. And just like us, we're doing our jobs in the corporate world. We are there. There is a persona. There's a part of us, not everything of us. We're not always speaking our minds. We're not saying everything we want to say, and we're also playing a role. Because we are professional enough to note that we have to behave professionally in accordance with the values of the certain of the corporate company we're working for. So we are acting a bit as well, and that's the thing with celebrities. But I think that many people, especially in the extreme Western hemisphere, the United States, don't really get that. But the thing is, it's pushed a lot as well. People are crazy about celebrities. The media is very powerful there. We have all kinds of, everybody also wants to become a celebrity. You have all kinds of reality TV and all of that. So it's a very different world. So the system, everything is very systematic there. Everything. There is a system with everything. With the loans, they're pushed in your face. The credit cards are pushed in your face. The celebrity or whatever culture is pushed in your face. Also, I don't want to talk about that, but the race thing is pushed in your face. You have to fill in your race in every application. So everything is so different, actually. And the role models, again, Morena, starts in home. Education, role models, and all of that starts home. It's maybe molded and polished in school and other environments, but the basis is at home. Of course, the personality as well from the child they're bringing up, but the core basis is at home. The child will tell you, I guess, yes, he will say, I learned from Cardi B to have a tattoo or to have long nails, but maybe the person that taught me how to lie was not Cardi B, it was your mommy, or the person that taught me how to steal or who I saw stealing was your daddy, not Cardi, nor Offset, ¿verdad? So, yeah. Y como te dije, Blood Moon, lo mismo. Parir y ser madre no es lo mismo. I know. Todos sabemos ese tipo de cosas. Things and different. Yes. The majority of girls are just working a regular job. Again, I don't judge anyone who chooses or is forced to do whatever thing they're doing. So, ¿tú quieres decir algo, Dominican Renaissance?
I just feel like we're kind of generalizing here, you know.
That's fine. Always generalizing.
Okay. Yeah, America is a very big, country. And I feel like a lot of these things kind of only apply in very liberal, cities, Yeah. But yeah,
No.
Yeah, because there are, there's like the rural America, which is not very materialistic. And those people tend to vote Republican.
The American system is a very consumist system, extremely consumist, because we're consumers here as well. We consume a lot in the U.S., but still, people here do not have the mentality yet of buying what they cannot afford. But in the U.S., there is like, okay, I can pay it off. So here, in consumer loans and all that type of stuff are so regulated. The banks, it's just like you cannot even mess too much, because in the U, not in the UK, in the U, because the regulation is very hard because you cannot push people. You cannot give those loans or consume whatever kind of loans to people that cannot afford it. It's just
Wait,
like
but
it's
if you
very
don't
hard to understand.
if you don't do that,
Mhm.
that's over here. If you don't give loans to certain people, it's called racism. It's like it's viewed as racist. If the bank is like, no, 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 we can't give a loan to this guy, you know.
We're not going there in the race topic because all this
No,
thing
but that's I mean that was wasn't that like the financial what was it
no, people that cannot pay their loans. Again,
isn't that what caused the financial crisis?
no, this major here was in the U.S. The banks gave that one of the part, loans to people that could not afford to pay those loans. It's one of the most important parts of the 2008 crisis. It has, at least here, I never heard that it has something to do with race.
Because everyone there is white. That's why.
No, no, no,
That's why you don't have to talk about race.
no. Celebrity worship is out of control. Yes, yes, they're like gods. I understand the media, of course, they need to make an imaginary and everybody can sell and stuff, but yeah, Alisa Milano, that's an actress. Alisa Milano, that an actress. She's tan. She looks Mediterranean, right? With dark hair, dark brown hair. I guess. See, I know Alisa Milano from the 90s. I just know. I don't know if I can. I know that name, and I know that someone from the 90s. I just know. Tiene que ser así. Ese nombre me dice todo. I would just like to see panels of men wanting a solution for the women. Instead of using these very public forums to bash them. Work together for a solution. Exactly. Repost, retweet, everything, Morena. I totally agree. I think that some people are focusing too much on problems. Let's solve the problems. Because I feel that, just talking is easy. I like to come with a solution and I like to have different views as well. And I think I gave tonight or today for you some solutions to women that want to meet some high earning men or just date potential. I think I gave a solution for some women that are stuck and will stay stuck if they don't open their mind. Date potential, see some more potential, open, enlarge, extend your pool. So yes, I think there's at least these algorithms, YouTube algorithms, there's a huge bashing community from both sides, from men and women. I just don't understand that. It's crazy.
I'm not a part of any of that.
Me, no, but since I'm doing this kind of lives, I saw my algorithms being
That
changed
makes no sense to me. Like
to a new
zero sense.
to a universe that I didn't know that existed. And talking about algorithms, the EU wants to to adopt a directive or a regulation. We don't know yet about the algorithms and targeted publicity and all that stuff because they know that it will take some time. The EU, it's not very fast. But because it's affecting your life or your reality, so they want to do something to mix the algorithm. So yeah, well, and I hope you can see some of the YouTube channels that I recommended to you. I tried to put some more, and YouTube deleted them, so I will do it not tonight, tomorrow, again. So no, macho, Latinos don't have that type of panels, of course not, because we know that no man, no community is perfect. Men nor women are perfect either, and every community has issues. But I think the majority of communities have a pride and a loyalty to their own. They're not just o sea, enseñando la ropa sucia, So it makes no sense making a panel. Oh, Dominican men, because we all know, we say that to each other. Oh, they're so cheaters. blah blah blah, and all that stuff. Or things that I hear from men, from Dominican men from New York. They're so cheap. They want they don't even go, en fin, you know. They're so cheap. They want you to have an apartment because they don't even want to pay un lugar para aquello. And that kind of, oh, las mujeres están chapeando hoy en día, blah, blah, blah. So we don't make that kind of panels, gracias a Dios, because you make a fool of yourself. Te ridiculizas a ti mismo. Come on, it's like, it's just, I mean, like, if you talk like that about your own, don't be mad when an outsider is not respecting you, when an outsider is disrespecting you. If I tell my mama, loca vieja, ¿qué está diciendo usted? Blah, blah, blah. I'm disrespecting my mom. Do you think that a friend of mine or the neighbor or the colleague is going to respect my mom if I disrespect my mother? Hell the F no. So if you don't value your own, your community, your family, don't expect outsiders to respect it and to value it and to talk in a positive way about that. So you bash your own, people will bash you. En San Juan de la Maguana dicen que el que corta su falda enseña su CULO. Aquí dicen que el que corta su manga enseña su brazo. So, muchas cosas aquí. That's right, complaining about Dominican men being players, but I still love them. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, but hold on. I think I think with Dominicans, here's the thing. We have we have a lot of good-looking people. So I think it's like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of, I'm not saying that I don't want to say it's okay, but like I can understand it.
I think one, genetics. Men are not really meant to be faithful. That's one. Two, cultural. It's not seen as a bad thing, cheating on your wife. It's even encouraged. It gives you status. And man, they find that if you don't have like a side piece or something, sometimes they're saying like they're doubting about you, about your masculinity. I've seen that in my own family. Like, of all my cousins, I guess there is only one, when they were younger, a good one, and they always say, oh my gosh, that guy is so gay, he's gay. He was not gay. He was just like the most serious and study and work focused of my nephews. Or my nephews that were like that. The different ones, the rest, the player ones, were like, oh my gosh, he's missing out, blah blah blah. So the cultural aspect, because even like in Scandinavia, men tend to be more loyal than Mediterranean men. So it's cultural. In Italy, come on, everybody knows about Italian.
You said the northern
Northern,
Europeans are
yeah. Like,
that's also how they are. They're like more shy.
yeah.
They like their space. They're
Yes.
like reserved. So
I know.
that's the culture plays into that.
Yes, that's two. And three, I guess the diversity. We have a lot of diversity. In Japan and in the North, people barely have physical contact with each other. But the thing is also, it's so RACIST, what I'm going to say, but it's like, there's a difference because everybody looks alike, more or less. And in some countries, we have a lot of diversity. So it's like today you eat some chicken, tomorrow for men, tomorrow some pork, the other day some pavo, turkey, and the other day some goat. So that's the thing. In Japan, people or China, there's a difference. Todo el mundo se parece.
Even in Iceland, I think they have like an app where like if you meet someone you like, they have like this app to find out if they're cousins, because everyone in Iceland, like most of the people there are related, so they have to like find out if the person they're talking to is like a close cousin. So yeah, that's definitely a thing.
All right. Yeah, blood man, I hate cheap men because I love spending my money. Word. Same here. Cheap man. Tacaño con su mamá. ¿Qué es eso? Yeah. Who's one of the best looking men in the world, I must say. Who? Morena Reyes, Dominicans love their chuckles. Uh, I love a great deal, but it must be spent. A ti te gusta gastar mucho. Iceland is very small, yes. I can see they have it. Yes, yes. I need to go to Iceland, Reykjavik as well. I have I have only met two Samoan guys at the supermarket here in Belgium. Like, oh my god, are you from Samoa? I was just asking like that because I saw the tattoos and the physique and all that stuff. So I was like, oh. So they were here on a trip. They were in a supermarket. But besides that, I don't know Samoan people and the rock. So yeah, here you don't really have that community. So yeah.
You got a bunch of tall white people, right?
No, there weren't Samoan people. No, not.
No, I mean where are you again?
I'm in Belgium.
In Belgium, right? It's a bunch of tall white people.
Belgians are not that tall. They're tall, but not as well. To me, they're just average tall. You have a lot of tall people, but the Dutch
Ah.
ones, they are the
Have you been to an American city?
yes. I have been.
It's not a bunch of tall white people. It's like very diverse.
I think Belgians are a bit taller, not much taller, I guess. But the Dutch ones and the Scandinavians ones, they are, and Germans, they also you have everything. They're taller, yes. In the Netherlands, the average height for a woman is 5'9". So when I'm there,
5'9", yes.
seguro, 5'9", 5'9". So when you're there at optic, is it optic shop? And you're me as a woman, you're trying to fit some glasses. I have to be on my tips because I cannot look at myself. In Belgium, I can. But there, everything is taller. So 5'8", 5'9" for women, and for men is 6 something. They're very, very tall. Yes. But if you are like Morena, I guess Morena is. You said you were tall. I don't remember something like that as well. I guess. So for you, they will be like, oh, finally, my people. Oh, I'm not the tallest thing. Yes, I met a Mexican girl. She was doing a master's here in Belgium years ago, and she was 5'9". And in Mexico, she was always the tallest in her university. I guess it was in Guadalajara. I don't remember. And here in Belgium, it was okay, but when she went to the Netherlands, she said like, "Oh, people were always saying that people were so tall, but actually they're not that tall. They were, women were as tall like as me, and I wasn't, like the tiniest, but it was good. It's like people with my height. I was like, you're people." 5'7", Dominican are tall. Really? Yeah, some. Yo salí chiquita, mi abuela materna, man. In my mother's family side, they're tall, but I'm only 5'5", so damn it. In my mother's family, the majority are cuarto bate, so I find them attractive, but never would have a child with them. That huge head alone would destroy me.
Wait, what kind of head are we talking about?
No, 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 no. No, blood moon. Tú eres mala, mana. Así no. Fuerte. La princess loves tall Dutchmen, like the majority. Samoans are huge, tiny, tiny love. Yes, he has the word two of them, and the word very tall and very broad. Broad is a word? Was it very large?
Yeah.
We're not fat. We're not fat. We're fit. They were fit. So yeah, and they had some tats, and they looked kind of like the Rock, but actually handsome. And I was like, oh, maybe they're from Samoa. Although I've never been there, I barely know anything. And still I had to ask because that's me. Yeah, Samoans are like that to the good like that. So, do you have any final conclusion? Because en 9 minutos Había que estar, beber, mi amor, and all that stuff. So, bueno, barato y bonito. Pocas cosas son las morenas, lamentablemente. Pocas cosas. Yeah. Yeah. Latin American man, Latin man, yes. And Caribbean man, sí, sí. Estamos en este grupo. So, a lot of handsome. Who are you following, princess, from the Dominican guys? Let me see. So, damn, Macho, I actually wanted you to be in this panel, you with your man's perspective. Because Dominican Renaissance is also a man, but you're young, you're 22 or something, I guess. The Dominican, yes. What Macho said, I agree. Latinas tend to keep their dirty laundry to themselves, as the way it should be, I guess. That's how it should be. So there's no, I think that's very unethical. I'm not trying to pretend like I am Maria Teresa de Calcutta at all, but I think things are to be discussed at home. So that's nobody's business many times. They want to be exclusive in their Latinidad, not bashing the woman per se, exactly. Oh yeah, people like Dominican Renaissance or OG Orange have panels like that. They're not bashing, exactly. It's just like Morena says, they're not bashing. They're exclusive Latinidad.
Why would I bash Dominican women?
No, but Eddie says something like that is implying that we're doing the same thing, but actually it's not. It's not what we're doing. We're not bashing each other. We bash each other just like now, or when we're discussing with each other. So eso pega cuernos, so cuerneros, that kind of things, but not having panels and bashing or talking about a lot of things. Because, and our complaints are usually the same. They're cheaters, and sometimes they're not very responsible. Blah blah blah. But there is.
Yeah, I just think it's silly to like have like a gender war. Like, what the hell?
In the world of the action man.
Like, if you want to destroy yourself, have a gender war.
No.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You just fight amongst yourselves.
Never gonna happen. Man, 6 feet and taller. Eso desapareció ya mi familia, olvídate de eso. Eso era otra, la generación de los abuelos. This generation, yeah. Espérate. From the mother's side, yes. 5'11", 5'11", 5'10", sí. But not really, nah. Ya eso, la generación from my grandfathers, yes. Those people, and my grandmother as well. But my father's grandmother was chiquitica, sí. Y salimos a ella, lamentablemente. Ay, Ok, Senator McConnell blends Trump for insurrection says. Pero en fin, total, mañana, en unas horas, vamos a ver la inauguración de George Biden, de Joe Biden. Vamos
Sleepy Joe.
El mundo. Okay, so Blood Moon, they're just random men. They're following random men. There's one cute Dominican guy who's not following on Twitter. He's smart, he's educated. There are many, so I don't know. You actually like helping people. Yeah, La Madre Teresa. Yeah. See, God doesn't want us to suffer at all. Chivo, no. No, God, they're trolling. Mañana, manana. In Lingala. Does manana means dirty in Lingala? Do you speak Lingala or Chiluba? Princess. I didn't know that. Zabatu is Shu and yo is you and some words. Ok, bueno señores, gracias por estar ahí nuevamente. Voy a desvelar hoy y mañana estar como un zombie, así, cero concentración. Pero gracias por estar ahí siempre. Thank you so much. I think it was a very interesting panel, actually. And I hope I can. That's my goal. That's my naivety and arrogance, that I can help some women, at least 10 women in the world. If 10 women will listen to this live after that, to open their minds and to be a bit more critical when it comes to content creators or content just out there, and to know that everyone has an agenda. I have my agenda, and some people have their agenda, to have more. I also want more subscribers, of course, and likes. Everybody subscribe. Dominica Renaissance. Hijo de tú no te has suscrito todavía.
Huh?
Tú no te has suscrito. Suscríbete, por favor, mi amor, que es gratis.
I think I am.
No, mi amor, tú no te suscribiste, no sea mentiroso. Yo sé que lo crees. Yo tengo estadísticas. Así que, por favor, dale like. Y suscríbete, por favor.
You call me a liar?
Un centavo no le estoy yo pidiendo a nadie.
Are you calling me a liar?
Sí, y cuál fue. ¿Cuál es el problema? No, ¿qué vas a hacer tú? Echa para acá. No. So, thank you, it was fun. Gracias, Dominican Renaissance, como siempre, por debatir aquí y por reírte.
For laughing? Hey, if it's funny, it's funny.
Man, you usually don't laugh. You always keep calm, but usually you don't laugh. So I love it when I hear you smile. You're so hot. You also speak Congo. Okay. Chiluba, your family's from the Kasai. Okay. All right. So, subscribe, por favor, y like todo, por favor. So, thank you very much, guys. I don't think I will see you tomorrow, unfortunately. Porque yo me conozco que voy a estar muy, muy cansada, demasiado. So, hasta el jueves y we will see. Un beso, virtual hug. Thank you so much for supporting me. And please share this message with some people, or at least this video or the message. And if it suits to you, do it. Open your mind and don't think about elite men only. Open your pool and discover your potential and date men in potential, who have potential. Yes, next time, macho, por favor. Adiós, bye-bye.